Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost! Behind you, brother! Right flank!
I just had a thought. With Asgard destroyed, where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of Asgard. Who knows what became of it?
Aye. Suppose they'll have to find rest somewhere.
Another gravestone, like we found while searching for the Norns. But this one's intact.
Aye, and with a keyhole tailor-made for the hilt you took. Tread carefully, brother. Freya, I've always wondered, why was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim, back in the dawn of realm travel.
Oh? Bit before my time. Do tell.
We believed for a long time that all the giants had died in the flood, until one of them appeared in Vanaheim.
Hold. We will finish later.
Bloody Draugr holes! We've got to clear out all these undead bastards!
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Enemy behind
Good show! Take it off, man! You've got this!
Won't be hearing any more from those Draugr. Freya, do you mind picking up that story about your brother? I think you said a giant had appeared in Vanaheim.
That's right. Her name was Gerd, and she came offering to teach us the secrets of traveling between realms using Bifrost light.
Wait. Let us look this way.
Much of the sand has been cleared away, but another storm rages beyond that pass, which must mean...
Another half-goofa.
Odd. It looks as though the Light Elves sealed off this section of the Barrens. Why?
Luckily for us, a very considerate god... This has enhanced our magic chisel, and we can unseal it.
My, that is lucky.
The Forbidden Sands lay beyond.
Contested territory, according to Bela, and another storm to endure.
I remember when Freyr and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
It's a fair concern. Healing this land will take more than a pair of singing Halfgufa. But I have to believe, in the long run, we're doing right by Alfheim. Well, best we start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave! I see an entrance!
Freyr never saw how poorly these lands fared in his absence, did he? He would appreciate our efforts out here.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once this Hofgufa is free. This architecture. It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement, by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track, then.
This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd. When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of Alfheim's light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped Halfgufa for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
More hive, but denser. Well, there you go.
Wretch on the left! Left flank! Behind you!
behind you! Incoming! Another one! Left side!
Light elves don't often travel underneath the barons, do they?
Territory changes hands often in Alfheim. Or so it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
I suspect the corpse below would disagree. Good eye. Let's continue, shall we?
Watch your right! Right side, incoming!
I hope freeing these Hofgufas will allow them to breed again. It was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from a harsh world. I can relate. I wonder if these two comprehend the choice they face once freed.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Half-Brothers. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for in the end. That our death has purpose. That we can live on through our children. Well, given another chance, I know what choice I would make. Well done. Time to set it loose.
Aye. Back to the surface then.
Down.
A pipe.
Used in many of Freyr's blessings, I imagine.
The fate of these creatures. It reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king commanded him to construct a box that could contain all the evils of the world. But no metal could hold such a power. So the blacksmith used the flame of...
Kratos, is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story. A way to pass the time.
I appreciate the sentiment, but... well, your stories...
What about my stories?
I wouldn't exactly call them a comfort.
Fair. Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now don't sell yourself short, brother. You've come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. He died trying to protect her from those who would open it.
Well, at least it's a relatable story.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in Alfheim. Yet again. Take it off, man! We've got this!
Time to end this storm.
stories are of no comfort. Take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your son's safety. Even these creatures know. There is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
I'm not, am I? And now neither are they.
Wow. Didn't know I could get misty. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit Barrens?
Left side, brother!
A light elf statue in the desert. Odd.
On top of ancient elven ruins? I'd have to agree.
Now! Attack the runes! Kratos, the springs! Destroy them!
Do you understand these poems?
Oh, there's always meaning if you look hard enough, brother. It's all in what you bring to it. Brother, I've been meaning to ask. Your homeland. I'd heard the gods there wielded every flavor of power you could imagine. Lightning, fire, the whole lot.
As did I, for many years.
Oh, any chance you could recall some of that magic?
No, I have tried.
Magic is bound to the earth. When your homeland died, your powers probably went with it.
Well, probably for the best. Let the past stay in the past, and all that.
An elven library.
An archive of knowledge.
No sign of the Light Elves.
For now.
Maybe they've left for the day, and we can browse at our leisure. What's that?
A diagram for a sword hilt.
Perhaps we should show it to one of the dwarves. They'll know what to do with it.
These texts alone are not enough to end the Elven War. But restricting their access only serves those who wish to prolong it.
Taking a page out of Odin's book.
Aye. Quite the advantage for the Light Elves.
This book is sealed, but there is an inscription. Consul.
Big Veer spoke of an exile of the same name. Odds are he'd like a gander at that particular text.
All this knowledge of their ancestors. Their shared history, poetry. Just sitting here. forgotten. What a waste.
Swathbar.
Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word.
Lata Frambog.
Sounds like she wants that journal back.
No.
Alka!
Use a shield strike, brother! Right side!
They're healing! Yosalfa. Thought. Megivita. Helga Brotinan.
She thinks she's protecting them by hiding all this knowledge away.
The elves do not need protection from their history. They need access. A new chapter awaits.
I'm impressed. Thought you were going to end her.
When last we traveled here, after Faye passed, I killed an elf of great importance. The ramifications were dire for his people. I do not wish to make the same mistake twice.
Light elf graves. An entire mausoleum.
They killed their own to protect their secrets.
That's harsh.
Yes. But with this secret exposed, perhaps old wounds can begin to heal.
Do you regret it, Mimir?
Most likely. What are we talking about in particular?
Giving up your body?
I regret exchanging my life for my freedom? That's a question I ask myself every day, my lady.
What about today?
Today? Glad to be out in the world. How else could I spend such quality time with you?
Okay, okay.
Throw your weapon at it!
I felt that one, Mother.
Behind you, Kratos!
Light elf architecture. It's massive.
A token.
A badge of honor. The elves made a few of these. They'd hang them up outside their dwellings. Show their support for my brother. That's all my brother's tributes.
Do you prefer we hang on to them?
Do what you will. If Freyr didn't bother taking them when he left Alfheim, he wouldn't mind us selling them to the
Locked. It requires 2 keys.
What are they keeping back there?
That's the beauty of a locked door. It could be anything. Monsters, treasure. Knowing our luck, it'll be a bit of both.
A monument to Freyr. I wonder if he ever saw this.
This statue may have survived Freya's absence, but a truce clearly did not. Monuments are useless to those who ignore their message.
He didn't create a truce through diplomacy alone. His godhood, his very presence is what healed this land and allowed peace to take root. But once he left, he had to have known what would happen.
Well, he had good reason to leave. Some jackass convinced his sister to marry a madman.
You said monuments are useless. Why restore this one?
It was hidden for some time. Perhaps now it can serve as a reminder.
Aye. Nothing reminds people of their history like chiseled, well-lit marble.
These crystals contain their own light.
You're right. Normally we'd have to provide our own. Perhaps slotting a crystal on the opposite side could shed some light on this mystery.
Ring of crystal shards glow.
Looks like we can read the inscription now as well. In honor of the Enlightened One, may his gift of light shine eternal. Ah.
Light from the crystals. It is in the sand now.
Would you look at that? Freyr's gift endures after all. Or should I say, his presence.
You are not funny.
Even when Freyr was actually here, the peace was fragile. Surely a bit of extra light in the desert was enough to make it last.
Before I met Faye, I could not imagine a life of peace. After her death, in our travels to Jotunheim, I found peace on my own. It remains my responsibility to make it last.
I only hope his guidance will last this time.
We will see. But he has given them a chance. The second key.
Sure enough. It's been a bit since we've unlocked a mysterious door. Excited, brother? Classic. Freya, do you mind picking up that story about your brother? You mentioned a giant had come to Vanaheim to teach you of the Bifrost.
Yes, Gerd. Freyr became immediately infatuated with her. He always yearned to wander, and along came someone who could truly show him up.
Let this wait. Stay alert.
Something is coming, and it's not happy.
Yelpa! Atreus! Get ready!
Something is coming, and it's not happy.
Yelpa! Atray! Out of the way! It's charging! Yelpa! Careful, the scales!
What on earth was a drake doing back there?
Your guess is as good as mine. Imprisoning a drake. Can't decide whether to be impressed or horrified.
Either way. It is over now.
Freya, getting back to your brother learning to realm travel. You said he fell in love with his teacher.
Yes, Gerd. Someone he could wander with as never before. So, wander they did, exploring the world tree from root to branch. But one day, it came time for Gerd to wander away.
Brother, wait. Do you notice that? Freya, getting back to your brother learning to realm travel. I take it the romance with his teacher ended poorly?
It did for him.
Set that aside for now. Come.
Perhaps we can bring these two animals back to Vanaheim, or Midgard even. Specky and Svanna could use the company. We have kennels.
It would not go well for them. Once a predator becomes accustomed to a land, it is cruel to move them.
I suppose you're right. It just seems lonely out here.
It is peaceful. They have each other. It is enough.
Freya, getting back to your brother learning to realm travel. I take it the romance with his teacher ended poorly?
It did for him. Freyr was heartbroken, and resolved himself to perform some great feat to win her back.
No more for now. Focus. Freya, here.
A dawn bloom.
This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counter-spell.
The Alpha!
Well, that relic certainly did the trick. I somewhat missed fighting trolls, didn't you? Don't forget to grab what they dropped. I think Lunda could make some armor out of it.
Kratos, tell me of an adversary from your homeland. It will serve us well if I understand more of your battle tactics.
There was Medusa, queen of the Gorgons. Her gaze turned men to stone. A mirror would turn her own powers against her. Or, you may remove her head, but that is the hard way.
Which did you choose?
The hard way.
Forget I asked.
Freya, getting back to your brother. What did he do to win back Garth? And how did it end up with him being worshipped in Alfheim?
Well, Freyr thought big. He set his aim on the grandest of gestures. He intended to be the first to find the elusive source of Bifrost light. And he succeeded, although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs. When he wandered, he wandered. And he managed to wander from the World Tree directly into the Lake of Souls.
Oh. What is that?
The Alfheim is stolen.
For the king! Alpha! On your right! Unworthy pride! The Alpha!
Nasty hit! All right, brother!
The Alpha! Can't do this without you, Kratos!
Yalti the Stolid.
For the king! Alpha!
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
Changing arrows!
I felt that one, brother!
The Alpha! The Alpha!
Behind you, brother!
You are nothing! You for me! The Alpha! Such a waste! Kratos, we need you!
Yalti the Stolid.
For the king! Alka!
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
Behind you, brother!
Waste of time!
I felt that one, brother!
The Alpha! Waste of time! So slow! Such unworthy trash!
Yalti the Stolid.
I felt
that one, brother.
Alpha! Waste of time! Alpha! You are nothing! Switching arrows!
Good riddance, you feckless ball bag.
You knew this warrior.
Do me a favor, brother. You see any more of these ghostly berserker tossers, give them the same. You'll be doing the Nine Realms a favor.
Did these warriors wrong you at some point, Mimir? You're quite agitated, even for you.
No need to rehash ancient history if it's all the same to you.
Very well.
You know, Freyr loved to breed Gulan pups in Vanaheim. I wonder if these two are the descendants of the Gulan he brought here long ago.
That explains how they got to the desert. Another gift for the Dark Elves. Freya, that story before of your brother, he said he wandered from the World Tree to the Lake of Souls.
It's true. The elves have never seen anybody come out of the lake before, so it got some attention.
Oh, that is bloody hilarious.
I don't know whether he worked his charms at that point or they just assumed him to be a great deity. But of course, he hadn't made this journey in search of responsibility, so he didn't stick around long. Still, the legend of his manifestation was passed along through the ages. It even endured after the Great Division, remembered by Light and Dark Elf alike. So when at last he returned, he was uniquely situated to gain the trust of both sides and help to create a truce. The problem was, both sides trusted only him. So the peace could only last as long as he stayed around to keep it. And with the long war dragging on without an end in sight, I suppose making any kind of peace was an irresistible notion for him.
Find that orb yet?
Even if it meant having to rule. Good thing we didn't miss this.
Let's make some magic.
Can this lock be opened without damaging the book? The elves in Freya's camp wish to read it.
Now, why would anyone go and lock a book? Seems silly as me. I'm sure I can crack it open for you and get it over to Biggs and Bay. Want to talk for a spell?
Yeah. You may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back to my earliest days, when I had little more to do than observe the mortals who passed through our forest. One summer, a local laird of renowned eccentricity chose to sequester himself with a small coterie of kinsmen and followers. The aim of their woodland retreat was to achieve enlightenment through study and discipline. They took oaths to brook no distractions until they became wise men.
Enough talk for now. Be ready.
From under the cruel, dagger the cold, and bitter the rifle.
For King Rose!
Right side!
Come on!
Come on, Kratos!
From under the cruel, dagger the cold, and bitter the rifle. Right flank!
Come on! I'm tired of you! Stow the horse! I'm tired of you! This is no challenge! Will suffer more.
From under the cruel, dagger the cold, and bitter the rifle.
Come on! I'm tired of you!
You're on fire, Kratos. It will pass.
Righto! That's a pretty nice axe. Think I'll take it.
From under the cruel, dagger the cold, and victory rifle.
For King Rose! Left side, Kratos! Come on! I'm tired of you!
That's frost in my neck stump. This is a fine mess.
Not!
From under the cruel, dagger the cold, and victory rifle.
For King Rome!
You're on fire, Kratos. It will pass.
I'm tired of you!
Great now, but you'll...
Brother, in my travels, I heard of a great battle in your homeland, at a place called the Gates of Fire.
The Hut Gates.
You were there?
No.
Is that regret in your voice?
I did regret not dying there for many years. But no longer.
Returning to my story. The Enlightenment-seeking laird and his followers swore oaths to forgo such distractions as women and drink. Mostly women. As you can imagine, things deteriorated quickly. By autumn, tempers were frayed and wisdom remained in short supply. One day, I watched as the laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as fair...
Prepare for a fight.
Behind you, brother!
I wonder, how'd these two pups end up yoked to the sled?
Ever try flying in a sandstorm? I imagine Freyr showed the Dark Elves that Gulon could be trained to pull a plow. They must have found new uses for them once the sandstorm arrived. I imagine they're now bred to aid in traveling the surface.
Freya, when Hildisvini went to Helheim, how did he not freeze to death?
A perk of the Jofer.
The boar-shifting warriors of Vanaheim, as wise in statecraft as they are deadly on the battlefield.
So they may shift into whatever form they like.
Sure, so long as the only two shapes they'd like to shift into are human and boar. As I was saying about the laird and his brother, all summer they'd upheld their oath to avoid the touch of woman. Yet here before them stands a fair maiden in need of their help to cross the river. The laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to his brother, who is dumbfounded, can't even bring himself to speak. The day stretches on, the laird carries on hunting, and his brother quietly gnashes his teeth down to powder. Finally, the dam breaks. "Brother," he cries, "how could you do it after everything we've sacrificed? How could you break your vow like it was nothing, carrying that lass on your shoulders like you were a Shetland pony?" The laird just smiles. "Brother, I set that lass down across the river. 'Tis you that carries her still." Oh, I got a chuckle. A rare day indeed. Brother, I've heard my share of stories about your homeland, but I'd also heard that you once fought in a tournament.
I fought in many contests.
But this particular one, I heard you did battle with beasts, scoundrels, princesses, the undead, automatons, and history's greatest musician. That's not true, is it?
I would not speak of this.
Fair enough, brother.
She's gone.
That? What's he's hiding again?
It matters not. The knowledge found here will spread. Her work is done.